All right, guys, welcome to Nick's Fort. My name is Nick. Today, I'm going to talk about a freelancing mistake that could literally cost you thousands of dollars. And it has to do with paying your quarterly taxes. And to spice it up, I put on my hot dog shirt because I know it's a bland topic, so at least we have the hot dog shirt to keep us entertained. All right, so first things first, I am not an accountant, okay? I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a tax advisor, okay? I'm a freelancer. I've been doing this for 11 years now, so I've learned along the way a lot of things about how to manage this as a business. So please take this as advice from a fellow freelancer, but do your own research. Make sure you're getting an accountant. Make sure you're using a tax preparer or something like that. Make sure you do your own due diligence to make sure you're doing this right, but use this as a starting point to feel like, okay, this is kind of what I need to do. This is what I need to know. Basically, guys, if you are a 1099 contractor, if you're doing freelance work, then you need to be paying quarterly taxes if your tax obligation, so if your estimated tax owed for the end of the year is $1,000 or more, okay? So if you expect to pay $1,000 in taxes at the end of the year for your freelance work, you need to be paying quarterly payments. And if you don't, the federal government is going to potentially, they don't always, they're going to potentially assess interest on that tax, which means you pay more money, and they're going to penalize you, which means you pay more money. It's happened to me once in my career, freelancing. I ended up spending an extra $150 on my taxes because I messed something up and I didn't pay enough money and I didn't do the right methods, which I'm going to tell you about in a second. So you're gonna make quarterly payments. It's gonna happen 4 times a year. You're gonna have your first payment April 15th, the second payment is June 15th, the third payment is September 15th, and then the last payment is January 15th, and that's of the next year, but it's for the same tax year. So 2018, the first 3 are in 2018, the fourth one is in 2019, January 15th, but it is for 2018 as a tax year. Okay, it's a little complicated. Listen to it again if you need to. So how are you gonna make these payments? You can phone it in. Hello, I'd like to pay my taxes to the man. You can mail it in, or you can do it online. Just do it online. It's way easier, probably the best way to do it. And there's 2 ways that I know about online. One is the IRS website. You go on there, you can make a one-time payment. I don't know if you can schedule them on there. I don't do that method because I don't know if you can do that. But you make a payment for your taxes every time, set it up, boom, send it. The other way is this website called EFTPS. I've linked to the IRS one and the EFTPS site below, which is a government site also, but you can set up, it takes a little more to set it up, but once you have it set up, you can set schedules. So I can schedule all 4 tax payments for the year based on what I think will happen for my year, and then go in there and adjust it as needed. But if you are like me, you're going to forget. So I like to schedule my tax payments, and I prefer that method, even though it's harder to set up. It is safer for me to avoid the penalties. Okay, so how do you figure out how much money you need to pay? Because if you don't pay enough money in your quarterly tax payments, then you can get penalties and fees and interest in awfulness like that. So there's a method called the safe harbor method. So what you do is you take your previous year's tax return for your 1099 income, and you go to page 2 on form 1040, line 63, and that's going to have your total taxes due from the previous year, and then you're gonna divide that by 4. And you take that number and you pay that on each payment date for the year, the current year. And even if you make a frick ton more money, rain in cash, then you're still not gonna get penalized because you're paying that tax due from the previous year, and that's just how it works. The government doesn't penalize you. It's a safe harbor method, and maybe that's why it's called that. I don't know. Safe harbor. Welcome to Safe Harbor. I'll be your captain today. Anyways, if you also have W-2 income and taxes from W-2, you're gonna have to back those out, subtract those, so you're not paying the taxes from the W-2 income. It gets a little more complicated, but you basically want to remove that from your taxes due and only pay on the 1099 taxes due for the safe harbor method. So using this method, even if you have a better year, I would highly encourage you to actually pay more taxes as the quarterly payments come. So you don't want to have, at the end of the year, a huge tax obligation where you owe an extra $5,000 because you made a bunch more money and you just did the safe harbor method and you paid the taxes that you paid the year before, because then you just have to write a huge check at the end of the year, and like that kind of sucks. It's easier to just get it right. And the other way around is very true too. You don't want to overpay. Let's say you have a bad year and you're using a safe harbor method and your year this year is worse and you're overpaying, and at the end of the year, you get a refund for $3,000, which is like, oh, cool, giddy up. But you just gave the government a free loan for $3,000 for the year, which is not cool. Not cool at all. You want to try to nail how much you pay based on your finances. You got to keep track of your finances to do that right. So I've dropped some links below to the different payment methods and also some more information. If you guys have questions, drop a comment below and give that thumbs up a clickety clackety. Don't forget to drop a comment if you like the hot dog shirt, yes or no. Hot dogs are great, I think. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, I do content based on freelancing as a filmmaker and photographer, tutorials, stuff like that. And looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.